This video is to show some of the techniques that can be used with tables in Word. So we have a table here that I've made, something that you might see in a chemistry class or a science class or something, a lab report type of thing. And so I've put in some preliminary data, and we're going to see what we can do with this table. So first thing that I note is that I have trial 1, 2, and 3, but oh no, I forgot that we actually had 4 trials, and so I need to set up a 4th column. So how can I do that? Well, what I'm going to do is I got my cursor over on the right side here. I'm going to move it just so that I can see it turn into a little arrow right there. See? And you can see that black arrow, oops, right there. And so when it's that black arrow, I know that I can select the column. So if I left click now, it selects the column. And then if I right click, I will have the option to insert. And so I have some options here: insert column to the left, column to the right, rows above, rows below. In this case, I want to insert a column to the right. And so boom. And so there it is. I can do my trial number 4, and I'll make up some numbers here. 80.54, 21.99, whatever it is. Okay. You notice a problem, of course, that it is off the page. And if we try and print this thing, it's going to print off the page. You can see it's going to be totally messed up, right? How to fix that? There's a couple of ways. The easiest way is to come here. So make sure that you've clicked your cursor anywhere in this table. Then you come up here to the tabs. At the top tabs, you'll see the regular file, home, insert, design, etc. And then if you're in the table, you'll actually see 2 tabs. One is called table design and one is called layout. Click on layout and you'll see some options of things that you can do. If you go to this one right here, auto fit, okay, it'll give you an option: auto fit contents, auto fit window, and fixed column width. So you can try these ones. For now, I'm going to try auto fit window. Click there, and boom, it makes it like this, which is really nice. Alternatively, you could go auto fit contents, and so it takes out all the white space there. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you how you want it to look. I'll go with auto fit window. I think it looks better. Okay, now what? Well, I noticed that I have these cells at the bottom that I'm not actually using. So to get rid of that row, well, I have 2 options. Okay, I'll do both so that you can see. First option is to come over here, and you see when I go from the left side of the table to in the table, I get that little black arrow again, just like I did over here when I was making that new column. Right now, I'm trying to take away a row. So I'm going to come here to the row, and I'm going to move my cursor until I see the black arrow. And I've selected, okay, right now I've selected this cell. That's not what I want. I want to select the entire row. So let's try that again. And you can see the whole row is selected. Okay. Actually, it's even easier if you just go all the way to the left here, and you can select entire row, entire row, entire row. Okay. In this case, I'm selecting this entire row. Right click for the context menu and delete rows. Simple as that. Here's something else that you can do. So I'm going to undo what I just did. And so here's my row again. And now I'm going to try going up to the table design tab at the top of the screen, table design. You'll see this if you have your cursor inside the table. Click there. And where is is it? Oh, maybe it's in the layout, sorry. In the layout tab, and we have these ones called draw table and eraser. And so this is like an intuitive way of making these tables. So for example, say I wanted to have like two columns here instead of one. I wanted to split this up. Well, I just take my draw table tool, which turns my cursor into a pencil, and I just draw a line down here, and boom, I've got two things here. It separated that column into two, but it messed up on this last one for whatever reason. So I'm just going to go to my eraser tool, and let's erase that line. Okay, and let's draw it properly so it should line up with that one, and there we go. Okay, that's not actually what I wanted to do, so I'm going to go and erase that with the eraser tool. What I actually wanted to do was delete this whole thing. So I want to delete all those lines. So with my eraser tool, I just do that and release, and that row is now gone. So that tool in layout, draw table, and eraser, that's a really powerful tool. Like if I wanted to just separate this cell into two, I could do that, right? Undo that. Okay, so next thing that I want to do is I want to add like a heading, because right now there is no heading. So I'm going to add a row. So to add a row, well, we've seen it before. Just going to go here, right click, insert. I want a row above for my heading, and there it is. So I'm going to give this thing a title. So I don't know, salt concentration in water. I don't know, whatever it is. By percentage, sure. Okay. But I want this title to span this. Oops. Undo. Control Z. I want this to span all these columns. So there's two ways I can do this. I can do the eraser tool again. Where's the eraser tool? Eraser tool. I can delete that, and that will work just fine. But there's another way to do it, and I'll show you the other way to do it. So I want to make this one, this one, this one, and this one, all these four into one single cell. So I'm going to highlight all those, and then I'm going to go merge cells, and that's going to merge them into one. Click that, and boom, it became one cell. Okay, so this is all the information that I want to put into this table. Now let's look at a few ways to on how I'm gonna make it kind of prettier and nicer. There's a few things that I can do. For example, what if I wanted to emphasize these? I don't know what they represent. Some, I don't know, trials, or I don't know, whatever. So I could go here, select this and bold it, and select this and bold it. That takes a long time. I'm gonna go here and select the whole entire row like this, and I'm gonna bold the whole thing, and that's much better. Select this whole row, bold the whole thing, and that's great. I can also put shading in to make it more stand out. And so I'm going to select that. And this time I'm going to go to shading, which is, now where is shading? Table design at the top here. Shading, yeah. So this is in the table design tab, and there's the shading here. And so I can make this, you know, stand out a bit, or maybe you want it to have some color. That's cool, whatever you want. And I could do the same with this row. I can shade this also. And now it stands out a little bit more. I want this to be centered, so it looks better. And so to center it, up here in the layout tab, there's a bunch of options. So right now it is on top left alignment. We can go top center. We can go to center horizontally and vertically. That's the one I'm going to choose. And so if for whatever reason we have, no, that's not. If my cell is like this, it's nice and centered. If I choose top center, it'll be stuck at the top here. Okay. Don't be fooled though, because if you have carriage returns like this, and you choose centered vertically, it still will do this because I have these carriage returns. So to know if that is happening or not, I show my carriage return, or I show the, what do you call it, text markings, and I say, oh, I have 2 enters here. Just delete them. Delete, 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 delete. Okay, so I have no more enters, and so it's automatically moved into the middle. And let's do the same for this. Okay, let's turn off these paragraph markings. And we're gonna center this as well. Table design, center, no, layout, sorry, center, center, where is it? Oh, it's right here. So that looks nice. And I think I wanna center these as well. So let's just do that and center all those. And that looks pretty good now. What else? Okay, so a couple of other things. Sometimes it looks better if you don't have so many lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the cells, and I'm going to go to cell borders. So that is in table design and borders right here. So I'm going to say no borders and see how that looks. So that looks, yeah, I mean, it looks okay. I think it looks a little better if you have a little bit more space between each row. So I'm going to highlight everything here again, and I'm going to go to layout, and I'm going to go to height. So right now, like this row has a bigger height and all these rows have smaller heights. So I'm just going to go to these ones, and right now it's 0.08 inches for each row. Let's change that to, oh, I don't know, maybe 0.18 or so. Okay, oh, didn't do it. Let's try that again. Okay, and you can see that I changed the height to here 0.3 inches, and it looks pretty good actually. But I want to emphasize this heading a little more, so I'm going to put, what I'm going to do is, you see this sometimes, you see the top and bottom, and so borders. So I'm going to go table design borders, and I'm going to go bottom border, and I want the top border as well. And so now you got 2 lines there. Looks pretty good. I don't want this to be, I want to take off the shading here. Yeah, that looks pretty good now. Make this one shaded in not like pink, but you know, another color. Let's make it like this, and yeah, that looks pretty decent. So this is one option that you can do to kind of play around with it and make it look good. Another option is there are these presets that you can just click on your table, and they'll do it automatically. So if I click on this one, for example, so now it automatically makes it look like this, which is, you know, okay, not bad. I can try some of the other ones, right? So it does it automatically. Just click whatever style you think looks good. That one looks actually pretty good. I'll keep it like that. Except this thing, for example, this thing got messed up somehow. So let's just fix that, put that back where we wanted it, which was like that. And where did the top border go? Go back here, border, top border. And there we go. Yeah, so that's a little bit more about how to play around with tables and make them look good. And stuff like this, doing like a science lab or something, is a common place where you're gonna have tables. And so this hopefully was a useful example to you.